All right, the NFT market has been on an absolute roller coaster, right? But while everyone was focused on the art and the profile pictures, something way bigger was happening under the hood. A massive technical evolution. Today, we're going to get into how NFTs are changing from just static images into something incredibly powerful, programmable, dynamic assets.
So let's just kick things off with a question that kind of messes with everything we thought we knew about NFTs. The whole promise, the big selling point was permanence. You own it, it's yours forever. But what if that's not the future? What if that's about to change completely?
Okay, to really get this shift, think about it like this. A static NFT, the kind we've known so far, is like a printed photograph. It's done, it's fixed, what you see is what you get, and that's never going to change. But a dynamic NFT, that's way more like your social media profile. It can be updated, it can change based on new info, and the rules for how it works are built right into its own code. That means it doesn't need a marketplace to tell it what to do.
So you might be asking, why did we even need this change? I mean, weren't things fine? Well, not really. That first generation of NFTs, for all their simplicity, actually created some major headaches for the entire ecosystem. You see, because they were so rigid, a bunch of problems cropped up. We had a huge liquidity crisis. It was just hard to price and sell these things. Their economic designs were totally inflexible. The debate over creator royalties got, well, really ugly. And the whole market became this fragmented mess of different platforms that didn't talk to each other. Turns out that simplicity was actually a massive limitation. So, how do you fix all that? Well, the answer isn't some small patch or a minor update. It's a brand new class of asset, a whole new way of thinking, the dynamic NFT.
At its heart, a dynamic NFT, or a DNFT, is a programmable asset. Its DNA isn't set in stone. Its features can actually change based on what happens in the real world, what a user does, or based on rules that are coded right into its smart contract. And this is where it starts to get really, really interesting.
And look, a DNF can do a ton of different things, but the two innovations that are just complete game changers are refundability and revocability. The idea that the person who issued an NFT could buy it back or even just cancel it under certain conditions, that completely rewrites the rulebook for digital ownership. And make no mistake, this is way more than just a tech upgrade. This is a fundamental economic shift. These new abilities are having a huge impact on how we value, trade, and even think about these assets. So here's the absolute key idea you need to grasp. When an asset can be taken back or forcibly refunded, you introduce a new variable that wasn't really there before, counterparty risk. In simple terms, it's the risk that the creator, the other side of the deal, might change the terms or take the asset back. As a buyer, you now have to think about that risk, and it changes what the asset is worth. And this could lead to something really fascinating, a market that basically splits in two. You might see the classic, unchangeable NFTs start to demand a premium price because of their permanence. And on the other side, you'll have dynamic NFTs trading at a bit of a discount to account for that new risk. They're just playing two completely different games.
Now, this programmability also offers a really slick solution to one of the biggest, ugliest fights in the whole NFT space, creator royalties. For years, it's been a total battle between creators and marketplaces trying to get those secondary sale fees enforced.
With a DNFT, you take the marketplace out of the equation. The enforcement is built into the asset itself. Just look at how this works. A sale kicks off, and the NFT's own code checks, hey, was the royalty paid? If the answer is yes, awesome, the new owner gets all the features and utility. But if that royalty gets skipped, the asset itself can be programmed to basically shut down, lose its cool features, or even get flagged to be revoked. The rules are literally baked right in.
Okay, so if you're an investor or you're building in this space, what does all this mean for you? Well, the old playbook of just buying up scarce JPEGs and hoping for the best, that's getting outdated fast. The game's changing. The whole focus is shifting. The real value is moving from just the content, the art, to the underlying protocols that make all these dynamic features possible. This tech is also unlocking massive new markets, think corporations and gaming. And with all these new standards, platforms that can pull liquidity together from everywhere are going to be absolutely essential. We're moving from a world of pure speculation to a world of real programmable utility. And this right here, this is one of the most important takeaways. Why would a huge company or a game studio want to use an asset they have zero control over? Think about it. A concert ticket NFT has to become invalid after the show is over. A super powerful sword in a video game has to be revocable if the player is caught cheating. For them, revocability isn't a bug, it's the single most important feature. It unlocks all the use cases they actually care about.
So, as we start to bring this all together, it's pretty clear we have to step back and rethink what it even means to own something in this new, much more flexible digital world.
Let's just put the two models side by side one last time. The first-gen model was simple and permanent, sure, but it was also super rigid. This next-gen model, yeah, it's more complex, ownership is now flexible, it's conditional, but that's what makes it compliant and functional enough for the real world. And this quote from the source material just nails it. This isn't a small step forward. This is about completely tearing down the walls of that old rigid model and replacing it with something way more sophisticated, something that can actually support the next wave of what digital ownership can be. Which, of course, leaves us with one last big question to chew on. For years, we all just assumed that absolute, irreversible permanence was the killer feature of an NFT. But now, as we see all these new doors being opened by flexibility and control, you really have to ask yourself, was that permanence actually a bug all along, holding the technology back from its true potential?